Hey Heather, it's so good to have you on Zoom with me this morning. I'm really excited to interview you. For those of you who don't know Heather, I met Heather through our foster care respite night. She's been helping out. We once a month we serve foster care families by watching their kids for an hour, a couple hours, and Heather started serving, and I just thought that was so cool that she would serve with us, even though she technically didn't like go to our church on Sundays, but she's really been a part of our community through the foster care respite night. And for the longest time, I just thought she was other people's friends, and I didn't know that she was actually, she can't say this probably, but she was other people's doctor, which I found out through them. And she's a naturopathic doctor, which I thought was really cool. And so I was thinking the last couple of weeks that with us all going through this COVID-19 situation, kind of being stuck at home, it'd be fun to hear Heather's perspective on, simple things we can do to be more healthy people. So I thought we'd start. I wanted to hear a little bit about what naturopathic medicine is and how you got into naturopathic medicine, Heather. So can you let us know a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, first, thanks for inviting me on here. And well, naturopathic medicine is basically a system of medicine where we look at sort of the underlying or the root cause. So we treat similar kind of conditions that a medical doctor would, but really looking at it from a different standpoint, understanding that our symptoms are just a representation of something else that's going on. So to look at the underlying causes, that looks at the body and the mind and kind of your spirit, which are all blended together to make you who you are.
That's really cool. That kind of reminded me that, and partly why I even invited you, because I realized I was thinking that what you do as a naturopathic doctor is really similar to what we're trying to do as a church. It's just one aspect of our health that we all want to be more thriving as people. And I think it's so cool that you're able to bring your faith into what you do. So we're all in the same kind of weird situation of dealing with the stresses and the new routine of what COVID-19 brings. I mean, everybody's a little bit different, but I'm sure depression, anxiety, all of whatever problems we had before COVID-19, it seems like this is just exacerbating that. So I think more than ever, people are kind of thinking, what can I do to be a more healthy person? And I think many of us are being confronted with some of our inner problems in a deeper way. And we joke about, needing to drink more and stuff like that on TV, but all that's kind of a symptom that we're not happy. So tell us a little bit, what are some simple things we can do to be more healthy people from a holistic standpoint in a time like this?
Well, there's a few different things so that I would kind of put on the top. There's a number of things, but to start, I would say really create a routine. So routines are huge for our physical health. So our bodies all have these rhythms and routines. We've got our heartbeat that goes every minute. We have our sleep and wake cycles that happen every 12 hours. We have eating patterns that we have 3 times a day. Women have their menstrual cycles. So we have all these rhythms and routines, and our body, our hormonal system, our function thrives on routine. So if we're sleeping in till 11, staying up until 2, going to bed at 10, getting up at 8, your body never knows or doesn't know what's happening. So it's best if you can get up, do a morning routine, like you get up, you wash your face, have your coffee, time with God, whatever it is you do in the morning, to do that and then start your day. So you have some sort of a system in place. So that helps not only adults, but it's huge for children, for them to have some sort of a rhythm in their life. So number 1, create a routine. Number 2 is just connect with people. So it's so easy to be, and this is, I'm going to say for personally, this is a hard one for me because I'm single, I'm not married. I have teenagers who like to hide themselves in their room, or half the time they go to their dad. So spend a lot of time alone, which is quite isolating in its feeling. So I can understand if somebody's struggling with that. So it's so important to connect on Zoom, on Facebook Messenger, Skype, WhatsApp. I actually the other day connected with a friend and we figured out how to play cards. We both had a deck of cards, and we had paper and pen, and when she would lay down, I would write down what she laid down, and then we had to pick up, we had a spare deck on the side where we'd pick up a card. So it was fun. We actually played for 2 hours. It felt like she was in my house. So it gave me that sense of just human contact that we're missing. So, and if you struggle with anxiety, depression, sometimes that can push you into those feelings of feeling more withdrawn, and reaching out is really hard. So I just want to say, if you're in a family and you know there's people out there that are not, just pick up the phone and call, have a conversation or something. So that's a great way just to serve your community, serve a friend, you know. Sometimes we forget, we're like isolated and our family's irritating us and we need to get some space, but there's people out there that just need connection. So that's number 2. Number 3, well, I'm going to do number 3 last. Let me say one other one. So that I didn't mention earlier, but it's to get outside. I know it's confusing because don't go outside, but do go outside. You know, we have all this conflicting information. You know, the parks are closed, but make sure you get some exercise. And so fresh air, sunshine, I can't say enough about what that does to the spirit and to the health. And even, I'm going to call it skylight, because we don't always have sunlight, but just getting skylight can really help sleep patterns. It can help your mood. It can help for seasonal affective disorder. So just get outside and move. So number 4, which was number 3, it's number 4.
No worries.
And this is, I'm going to say, this is the one that probably is the hardest for people, and that is to create a gratitude journal. So we are bombarded right now with bad news. I can't even check my email without having some other notice about the coronavirus, about some other financial ruin, about some drug that's not working, or some other family that's been devastated. So I would, first of all, the other thing you could do is turn off the news. So that will put that as number 5, just turn off the news. But a gratitude journal where you actually start to focus your thoughts on things that you do have, not what you don't have and what's not happening, but you think about everything that you have and you've been given. We know that basically our thoughts control our feelings. So our feelings can kind of push our thoughts and dictate them and make them change. We can have our thoughts going around and around and around, which will then drive you into a state of anxiety or a state of depression. So if you can grab onto those thoughts, which we now know that the science has finally caught up with the Bible. We know God has said things from the beginning of time of what really is going on in here. But I'm just going to read a verse that I like to grab onto. It says Philippians 4:8. It says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent or worthy, think about such things." That's Philippians 4:8. So our brain, I'm just going to use an analogy. Our brain has a bunch of tracks in it. And those tracks, depending on which ones are used, you've got like super highways, you've got highways, you've got trails and trails covered with weeds, and all of them, you can imagine super highways are a lot faster for those brain thoughts to travel down. So, and the more they're used, the faster they go. So the more we think about, oh no, what's going to happen? Oh, is my parents going to get sick? And what's going to happen if I go to the store? Oh, that person's getting too close to me. Or life is horrible. I don't have anything. This is terrible. The more we have those thoughts, the more that super freeway is embedded and gets created. So, and then those thoughts of, I'm so grateful I have a home and I have a family, and I can go outside, I can walk, I can enjoy the fresh air. I have downtime now. I have time to kind of get my house together and think about those things. And I know that God is working together for the good of those who are called according to his purpose. So I have those kind of thoughts. If you keep the bad thoughts, those thoughts can start to get crowded over with weeds. So as we try to recreate those thoughts of positivity down those remembrances, that's a word, of positive direction, we have to force it. We have to willfully choose. Force it sounds bad, but we have to willfully choose that path. We have to willfully decide to start putting those thoughts in by thinking about them over and over and over, so that those bad thoughts start to get weeds growing over them. I've even had patients put elastic, or we call these elastic bands in Canada, but rubber bands around their wrists. So when they start to think bad thoughts, they snap themselves with the pain, snaps them out of that thought. Then they can grab onto the one that they should be thinking, so that their brain can start to have those positive thinking. So positive thoughts.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So those are like, just to summarize, just to say what I just said, we said, create a routine, connect with people, get outside, and do a gratitude journal. All ways of trying to cope with our environment.
And I forgot to mention that when we show this video, it's going to be Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, Heather.
Oh, thank you.
It's a little early from when we're actually filming this, but I think I love what you're saying. I think this actually is a good way for us to even celebrate the moms in our lives, to maybe help them have some time to do some of that stuff that you talked about. You know, maybe that's I'm going to think about my wife and give her some time to connect with some people, to get some time to reflect. I know she's always saying that she doesn't have much time to herself. So that's a good thing to remember, that we all need time to be grateful, to even create that space to be grateful and get outside. So that's awesome. You could almost do all four at the same time. You could have a routine of getting outside and being grateful. And I forgot.
There's something to that. I've actually found that I think I hear from God the most when I'm outside, just enjoying his beautiful world, and I'm quiet in mind and just marveling. It's like worshiping his creation. So yeah.
I love that idea of the superhighways. I never thought of it like that, that whatever we dwell on, that becomes the quickest that we get to those feelings. And if we dwell on worrying thoughts, we get very quick to being worried and anxious. Or if we dwell on positive things, then we get quick to feeling joy and peace. So that's such a powerful truth there. I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Heather. And it's been really great having you. And hopefully we'll get to hear from you again some other time.
Oh, that would be fun. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll include a link to Heather's contact information for those of you guys want to know more about her practice, or maybe even want to check her out. She can help you out with all kinds of health things. She's a great business, and is a great person. So I have no problem recommending her. So
thank you.
Well, have a great rest of your day, Heather. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for
okay. You too. Thank you.